Hello everyone, I am Phoenix Tremaine, and before I start my review of the Have and Have Nots, I'd like to take a second to thank you for watching this video. For those of you who subscribed, I really appreciate it. And just watching the views of, how many, I haven't done this in at least a year or two. So, just seeing the views and the new people who come along and watch me and hopefully enjoy my reviews. We'll also take some time to check out my other stuff. My soap opera Phoenix Remains Thirsty is online now, as well as my talk show, The Hard Truth. So, without further ado, please like, subscribe, comment, share this video. And my love-hate relationship with the Have and Have Nots continues. If you've been watching my videos, you know the first one I liked this season, the first one I praised the first episode of this season, or the continuation of season 3, the second half, and then I hated the next episode, but then I liked the third episode again, and then I turned around and hated the fourth episode. So now we're on the fifth episode, and I like it again. So I don't know what's going on with the writing, the directing, or even the acting, because it's so up and down and all around. But this was actually a pretty good episode. Candace carries Maggie like a straight bitch in this episode, which to me is sort of like Tyler Perry pandering to the black females watching the show, because the things that Candace was doing and saying was more or less what I feel a lot of black women would like to say to white women, with so many interracial relationships and the comparisons and just women being women, no offense, but women are constantly compared to each other, and so there's this nonstop competing of who looks better, who has the better hair, who has the better outfit, who has the best shoes, and it comes from years and years and years of magazines and movies and TV shows, and y'all live it, y'all know it. So it didn't make sense that Candace was carrying Maggie like a bitch because she was treating her like some secretary she just hired. But if Benny is smart, then or even watches TV, Maggie has been up front out on the front lines with this campaign. And this is somebody who Candace specifically asked for, so it really doesn't make sense that Maggie was the one in the scene that she, gave hell to. And on top of that, I think it really was just, this episode is a lot of connecting the dots type stuff. And she actually got to meet Benny for the first, Maggie actually got to meet Benny for the first time. So she's now putting, sort of like, okay, this is who Veronica's having sex with. It's just more, plot development, which is good. But like I said, it's stupid because, she's not an assistant. She doesn't get coffee or anything like that. And like I said, if Benny turns on the TV, she's still a part of the campaign. She speaks for Jim and David all the time. So Candace's plan could just crumble at any moment. And then on top of that, she let her know, we hooked this up for you. We got your name on the door. But this is somebody's office, and she's about to come out of a meeting, and Candace is still being a bitch. And I really, really would have loved if Tyler Perry pulled the trigger. And actually, when the lady actually came to the office, instead of her being flustered and, about what the hell's going on, she should have just said, "This is my office." And that would have been a better scene of Candace getting caught in her web of lies to her brother. And I think that would have been interesting instead of dragging out. He'll eventually, sooner or later, learn the truth. But I think it would have been more fun if she got, her cover blown, and seeing that Benny's behavior as of late, especially at the end of this episode, I think that he would have accepted that she blackmailed Jim, got millions of dollars, and, she's been spending that money, part of which she got him his own towing, company. So I think the new Benny 2.0 would have accepted that. and Candace wouldn't have to lie to him. But as Hannah says later in the episode, Candace just being Candace. Um, Now, the next thing was Veronica buys a new house. And I know that one of the things Tyler is doing is sort of also showing that how rich these people are. He sort of dropped, I think in the first episode, that David and Veronica have millions of dollars. So it comes as to no surprise that she would get a big, fabulous house that she needs decorated like immediately. So she's being a rich, fabulous bitch. And once again, that's fun to watch, but it recreates the dynamic. First, you got Candace talking down to Maggie, and then you got Veronica talking down to the real estate agent, or whoever the lady was. But they're white, so that's sort of like a subliminal, sort of like, and I caught it, So it's just little things in there to make black women happy to see another black woman, putting a white woman in her place. It is what it is. That's just me dissecting the scene. And then Veronica also mentions that it's been a few weeks, because she tries to find out where the car is. We thought she knew, but she gave it to someone to destroy, and he instead lost it, and it was towed. So once again, the storyline is just coming full circle, and all these pieces are just coming together. Then we switch to Jim, who he brings Norman to his house. It doesn't make any sense that he would bring Norman to his physically bring Norman to his house just to send Norman away to a safe house or wherever. It was just designed so that Catherine can overhear and see that Norman is out of jail. And then she's like, well, what happened to Wyatt? And, like 2 episodes ago, she was like, just fix it. I don't care what you have to do to Wyatt. Fix this. Jim fixes it, and she doesn't like it. The idea of Wyatt being in jail, but then Jim revealed that all the people that Wyatt will come in contact with in jail will be police officers, so that he's in no actual danger. So that sort of took away from, will Wyatt get raped or not? Will he get abused or whatever's going to go on in prison when you see that safety net there? But I think later on in the episode when Jim is crying and thinking about how he failed his kids, and I'll get to that maybe Jim is going to have Wyatt raped so that he learns the ultimate lesson and never want to go to jail ever again. But I'm still not sure if they're going to pull that trigger because they didn't really go there, at least not yet. So Catherine got upset. She also had a small scene with Veronica letting her know that the DA wants to see them. Her, Jim, Veronica, Catherine, and David. But we never get to see DA. We never get to see the meeting. That sort of like gets pushed off to the next episode. Then we have Wyatt in jail, where he meets his new convict partner. In jail cell buddy, whatever person, cellmate. And, he immediately starts pushing up on Wyatt, threatening to rape him. They get into a fight. They're getting into, like, fist fights. It's not, like, bitchy slaps, pushes, some shit like that. Wyatt really is fighting to keep his whole, re-virginized, since it probably got taken by the priest earlier, whoever was that fucked him earlier. So he's a born-again virgin, and he's trying to stay that way. And so they have just some tussling scenes, and the scenes are actually funny. To see Wyatt in jail, scared that he's going to get raped, trying to bargain with people, trying to call his mommy. All those little things, that are really getting into his head. And then we have Candace. Now, I'm going to need some of your help with this one because they don't do flashbacks. Most shows will do flashbacks, even in my soap opera. I do flashbacks for people in case they haven't seen a scene, like they may just start watching a show in the middle or something. Um, like a regular soap. I want to get them to know my plot points. Now, this is why I'm asking for your help. Because a while back, Benny got a car. This girl was pushing up on him real hard and gave him this black car that looked like what I would thought was going to turn out to be the missing car, Jeffrey's missing car. And I think it is Jeffrey's missing car, but they kept talking about, I forgot the girl's name, Erica, I think her name was, and that, she somehow gave Hannah a car. I don't know what the hell happened. I can't remember. That breaking these seasons up and they're not concluding the storylines and moving on to the next part of the story, like Pretty Little Liars. They have beginning, middle, and end. The murder mystery still continues, but whatever they wanted to accomplish within that first part of the split season, they actually accomplish it and move on. And then it's almost like you go to the next chapter of a book. Have and Have Nots does not do that. It's like from episode 1 to present, it's all one big story and it's just slowly evolving, but they're not, whatever. So it gives the people some flashbacks. I don't even remember what this chick looks like. So it's not like chicks become the focus of the show. That's something else altogether. There's also a reason why all the men are hot and all the women sometimes look like who did and why. But I'm not gonna go there today. Let me see. Jim has now. I have another note here. Benny can't. Benny borrows the money to get Quincy out of jail, and he does something with the seatbelt on the passenger side. And then when Benny has a conversation with Hannah to tell her Candace has a job, Candace said in her scene with him, she's not going to believe you. Don't tell her about the towing business. She's never going to give you a moment's peace. And he realized that he can't tell Hannah because Candace is right. And she doesn't believe that Candace has a job. And ironically, she's right. She said Candace is being Candace. And she's right. Candace is lying, manipulating, and not telling the truth. And then he leaves to go get Quincy out of jail. And then I have a note here. Wyatt almost gets fake raped. So there is a scene where Wyatt has to fight for his cookies. And, fight he does. But before the guy can rape him, the guard comes and breaks it up. And then he lets him know, I'll be here every 3 minutes, to make sure that you don't get raped. But then the guy in the cell lets him know, well, he's off in 30 minutes. His shift is over in 30 minutes, and the next set of guards don't give a damn if you get raped or not. Sometimes they watch. So then they have this new scene with Jim and David, and he talks about he wasn't there for Wyatt. He wasn't there for his daughter, and bad things happened to them, and he's crying. And I got the sense that he may let Wyatt get raped to teach him a lesson and make sure he never wants to go to jail. And I kind of think that's what the scene was saying, but we'll see. And then they showed once again Wyatt is about to get raped. He fist fights with the guy, and then when the guard comes, he tells, look, he's trying to rape me. And then when the guard leaves, he said, well, just bob and weave. And then he leaves, and then the guy that Wyatt's in the cell with punches him in the face and says, oh, so you're going to snitch too. So it was like, and then he had a moment where Wyatt said, I didn't hit the little girl, Norman did. And then the guy's like, well, yeah, now you're learning. So that kind of gives the wink and nod that this is a game. Wyatt doesn't pick up on that. And then we have Quincy and Benny go for a ride. Uh, Benny is able to get Quincy in a car by basically saying, "Are you too much of a bitch to get in the car?" And then Quincy's like, "Oh, it was like that." And then they get into the truck, and then Benny's like, after what you did to my mother and what you're trying to do to my sister, I'm gonna put a stop to that. And Quincy's laughing at him till he starts going over 90 miles an hour, and then they start struggling for the wheel, and then the truck flips several times, and that's the end of the show. So the question becomes, did Benny kill Quincy? Keep it in line with Benny's new personality. It is a possibility. Spoiler alert. I did go on Wikipedia, which says what's gonna happen. In the next episode, it does says Benny reunites Hannah with her grandson, Candace kid. So I know Benny's gonna be fine. I know that he's going to find the kid, but I don't know if Quincy will make it out of the truck alive. Really don't care. I don't like the character. And very one dimensional, so it's not like he has all these different shades where you're like, oh, he's such a great villain, I want to keep him on the show. No, I hope he's dead. The actor can find other work, hopefully. And that was it for the Have and Have Nots. Now, the notes for next week, in the preview, it says the PI is following Veronica and starts taking pictures at the tow yard. And, oh, I forgot to mention, I didn't put that in my notes. Veronica shows up at Benny's new garage and is shocked to learn that he's the new owner and that he's pretty much in charge of the cars, including the one that Wyatt ran over the little girl in Benny in. And Candace is looking at them like she can catch their body language and signals. And he's like, oh, she got me out of jail. So Candace like, stay away from her. And, he's like, what do you mean? And they're still just keeping secrets from each other. But she needs that car. So she's trying to track the car down because it can put everyone in jail. So Maggie is wondering why is Veronica in a tow yard. Maggie is smart. The way they're writing her, she'll figure it out. David and Jim both have plans for Candace. Say that they have plans for Candace. They don't say what those plans are, but the plans are in motion. The very next scene is Candace with her new kind of sort of boyfriend who I'm suspecting is either working for David or working for Jim. I've had people come to me and say, hey, I really think that, he's a plant, that he's working for them. And it looks like that's what it might turn out to be. And then, will Maggie snitch is my final note. Maggie goes to David and says, do you think your wife would cheat? Because when a person's accused someone else for cheating, usually they're the ones who are doing the cheating. And David says Veronica would never cheat on me. And then it's now in Maggie's ballpark to show him the pictures or something. So we'll see if she does. The show does drag out stuff for a little bit. We don't know if Wyatt's going to be raped or not. But it gives us something to look forward to next week to see what new drama will erupt from the Have and Have Nots. And hopefully they'll break this streak of me loving and hating the show and just keep it at loving the show. But this was a good episode. It didn't progress as far as I would like it to have progressed. But, it gave us some good stuff. Some, oh shit moments and something to talk about. As usual, I will place a clip of one of my shows at the end of this video. But don't forget to take just a second to click on that button and subscribe to me. You can like my video. Hopefully you liked it. And like I said, I put all my other links on there if you want to follow me on Facebook or something like that. My website is webseriesandmovies.com. I have lots of entertainment news, reviews, and different things like that on there to keep the content always fresh. I've got so much entertainment news I put on there. On Empire, the guy that plays Andre and Boo Boo Kitty, they're engaged in real life. I've got the photos of that on there. Soul Man is getting canceled. They're about to do their last 12 episode season. I can't even think of everything. I posted so much stuff on there of the latest entertainment news. And hopefully check that out. Check out my web series. See, my movie will be out. And, just, check me out. Like, subscribe, comment. And thank you for watching.
I'm not obsessed with him! He's so amazing. It's not an obsession. It's love. Let's just kill this jerk. And let's go kill that little boy toy of yours. I'm not gonna do that!
Do what?
Oh, I was just saying that I'm not gonna skip taking my meds anymore.
It looked like you were talking to someone else. Are you hearing voices?
I'm not hearing voices. I was just speaking out loud. Does that make me crazy, Doc? Okay, see, you don't have a sense of humor. I was just kidding. You're losing control, Stacy. Or I need to fix this. I'm sorry, Doctor. I spent the entire session playing games with you. Really, I'm fine.
I'm sorry, Stacy. I'm gonna have to have you committed for further observation. But I'm not talking to Stacy, am I? You're Catherine, the gatekeeper personality.
Is it hot in here? Or is it just me?
Serena?
Oh yeah, baby. Even when I'm gone, I'm never forgotten. So, what's this you say about wanting to have us committed?
Look, Serena, you and the others need help.
No, Doctor. You don't want to do that. You know why? You know why? Because we're so much more fun when we're out doing bad things.
You need to get off me right now and sit back on that couch, or I'm calling the
Your lips are saying no. That bulge in your pants is saying, come on, baby. Let's play again.
I'm calling